Hello, my dear friends. Thank you for joining once again. We are here with another episode. Today, in this episode, we are starting the train to gain lessons on the system, where all the practitioner can understand what is the system all about. We would like to give you a little bit the wonderful practical tips to you all, which is very useful in the system to understand. Without understanding the system, you cannot actually use the real benefit of the any system. So that's why we are here to give you wonderful knowledge through our train to gain episodes. In this, we are starting the first lessons on all about the system. So basically, I would like to tell everyone that what is system all about. If you look at the system all about, okay, so basically we are starting the first lesson. As we all know, the system is based on the principles, okay, and without the principles no system can be understand easily. So if we look at this system of medicines based on law of nature, so we have to be understand what is law of nature. So if you look at, there are few things which we have to be understand. First, the nature given us the plants, okay, and there are three important factor which actually the old force, or you can say prana, or vital force as per the systems. So we follow the old force. We have to be understand what is law of nature. So law of nature, we have to be follow the plants, animal, and the human life. Basically, the plants comes first, okay, on the earth. Okay, we have to be understand this correctly. If we do not understand correctly, the whole systems will be not understood fully. So basically, the law of nature is actually based on the old force, as I said. So these forces are called in every science differently. So we follow that this force as a old force. So basically, the plants has the living is kind of a living bond, okay. So but it's not feel, okay. So plant does not feel, okay, but it has a soul in it. Animal actually has both. So it's a feel and actually uh, soul, okay. So basically animal actually is the second living born on the earth, okay. So first is the plant, second is the animal, and third actually is the human, which is a wonderful creation, okay. They have feel, they have understanding, they have soul, okay. So this is the third living born on the earth, okay. So basically these actually contain or carry the old force, okay, some kind of old force which actually keep us alive, okay. So this is the law of nature, okay. So why I said plant, actually if you look at, without plant the life cannot be sustained, cannot be lived properly, okay. We need food, and we need actually the oxygen. So basically that's why the plant came first, okay. So why the animal is second? Because the animal actually the second living born on the earth, which is before the human. Because the or for example the milk and the use of the animals is very necessary for the human kind, okay. So that's why the second living born on the earth is animal, and third is human, which has a brain given a wonderful and feeling. Whenever disease occur, we have to be understand the life all about, and that's called is the law of nature. So this system, Matty is the only first person on the earth who understand law of nature very well. Okay, now the system actually Mattei system based on the few principles which we will start one by one. Basically, there is a human, and any disease occur as per their digestion. Okay, so basically digestion affected. This is we are from the childhood, from the Asian system of medicines, we are understanding this very well. So Matty actually put it in a more scientific way: lymph and blood. So the digestion is the responsible for lymph and blood. Okay, so which there is no doubt about that, and any systems are based on their own principles. So we are talking about the system what we are learning today. So lymph and blood actually based on those, actually we get cell and tissues, and this is the buildup of cell and tissues which we can understand in WBC and RBC. So basically the foundation of cell and tissues on the lymph and blood, and then it's actually structure comes through the cell and tissues, actually tissues made up with the organ. Okay, so the organ buildup. Okay, and then the organ make it actually the system. Okay, basically the organ is function correctly in their own way. So Matty is the only first person who understand the physiology importance of the human body, and that's why we are actually starting from here. The summary is, so human body actually based on, so you are what you eat. For example, any healthy diet or food make you healthy. Okay, and anything goes wrong or impurity, for example, and it's actually foundation of your lymph and blood. Okay, and then what level and what level of your purification of the lymph and blood make the cell and tissues very healthy, and then the organ will be the healthy, and the organ is healthy, then the whole system will be. Now the third point comes to understand the system after the formation of the human body in the form of physiology. We have to be understand how the disease occur. So basically, if your digestion is not good, so your lymph and blood will be impure. Okay, so we have understood, and that's why the Matty actually based his science on lymph and blood. And now the lymph and blood actually make a temperament. Okay, Matty is the first persons who are basically made a healthy and ill person differently. Okay, so healthy means that if the all system of the body is perfect and in balance state, from, in other words, physically, mentally and emotionally. If it's balanced, they are healthy persons. So if the person's physical level, mental level and emotional level are imbalanced, imbalance, so they are unhealthy. So basically, if you look at once again the importance of lymph and blood, so Matty is the first person who actually made his system of medicines based on the root cause of the disease. Okay, so that's why we are here to understand the root cause of the disease. So root cause of the disease is in the digestion and in the lymph and blood. When it's all into this position is imbalanced, then we get a disease. So this is what we are teaching today is the system based on the natural law of the universe, and then is what is the human body all about as a physical physiology level, and then how the disease occur. Now the fourth is actually what actually the pharmacology of the system. So basically, what we have studied in third point, previous point, that the digestion. Okay, if the digestion is not good, so lymph and blood is not good, and which is cell and tissue, and then organ. Okay, and organ make a system. So basically, the second point comes the after the digestion, the nervous system. Okay, so nervous system affected. So in that basis, what we got is 3 points. So basically, when the root cause of the disease lies in three factors. So which Matty or his follower taken into the lymph and blood. For example, lymph, blood, and the nervous. Okay, so if because we have to understand the complementary medicines definition about the disease, the complementary medicines or the natural medicines based on the mind, body, soul, which is physically, mentally, and emotionally. So if you look at the digestion come here, and cell and tissue come here, and the nervous systems signal control of the body organs comes here. So basically, what are scientific system of medicine? So now until now we have understood the law of nature, old force, which Matty called the living bond on the earth, and we have to go to back to the plants. So back to the nature. So plants and the animal and the human. When they got ill, their old force or their prana or their vital force is imbalanced, and how that imbalanced is through the digestions what we eat. So we have to understand the law of nature as well as the physiological and the root cause of the disease to understand the system and diagnose as per their system. So we don't need any diagnose when you are practicing your own system of medicines. So now we will talk about the features of the system what we follow. Now we will follow the features. So the system based on the law of nature, and the features of the system. Okay. So now the Matty system is the only system which we should follow in the right direction. Okay. So first what we have to understand, restore the digestion. Okay. So we have to understand, we have to restore the digestion. If our digestion is restored, then our lymph and blood will be in a perfect state, purification state, purified, and the cell and tissues, organ and system work wonderfully. And then we have to be understand the base of the digestion, the root cause of the disease. Okay, based on this, okay, lymph, blood, and nervous. Okay, based on this, we got root cause of the disease in either in lymph, in blood, or in mind. Okay, so basically we have to be understand this one. So to restore this one, we have to be go through this, and then the root cause of disease made a three kind of temperament. So first is lymph based lymphatic, blood based sanguine, which is again you can say blood diseases, okay, or it's lymph diseases, and then mind, nervous diseases. So basically we got 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so based on that, actually Matty actually made the principal remedies on this. So what are their principal remedy was actually the lymph remedy, which was metabolic and the lymph and blood remedy. Okay, and then there is a blood remedy alone. Okay, so blood remedies. So Matty made to restore the lymph diseases by lymphatic medicines, which is in two groups. One in the lymph and one is the metabolic. And second, blood, which means the blood remedy. And blood remedy is need a little bit help of the respiratory, okay, oxygen. So we will teach you later on that one. And third one, which is his disciple Theocros actually added, nervous system. And every system should be actually progress day by day. Okay, so new inventions and new scientific studies should be conducted. That's why the system should be regularly updated. So nervous system means that there are some nervous remedies. Okay. So basically what we got first is the restore the digestive system, second the root cause of the disease in lymph and blood and mind, and third we got the temperament. And now the fourth one is the remedy. Basically this is called law of similar. So what we actually lacking in our body are fulfilling by the same element. That's called law of similar. So now there is something very unique Matty given to purify the lymph and blood and then restore the mind. And then it's all based on the plants. Okay, so plant based on, and plant have so many micronutrients in it. We will talk about when we talk about the specific and about the manufacturing of the medicines, how we make the medicine. So basically now comes the important part, the dilutions. Okay, so to restore the system, we need a wonderful feature which called dilutions and selecting the remedy. We are carrying on the features again, features of the system. Okay, based on, so it's still based on the law of nature. So what we have, so we have the, now we have the health and disease and the temperament. So we got to understand this one. So we have got this one. So now we have to understand selection of remedies. So how we select the remedy? So basically, whatever the root cause, we have to be select the remedy as per. So select the remedy. So if the root cause in lymph, we understand the lymph remedy. Okay. So this is basically the root cause as well as the temperament. So Matty was so scientific that he based his system on the root cause of disease, and then selected the dose. Okay. So now we got the remedy. So what is actually how we select the remedy? Okay. We have already understood. Now the important point, what will be the dose? So dose should be based on the symptoms of the disease. So Matty says that the dilutions of the medicines should be based on the symptoms of the disease, which is actually expanded by his disciple Cross in much more better way. So Matty used only three kind of dilutions. Okay, so we have to be understand the dilutions. Okay, so Matty only used three kind of. First is, you can say, first dilution, and then second dilution, and third dilution. Okay, so on his theory, we use first, second, third dilutions based on the if you look at the concept of the Matty, if you read about that, you will easily understand. Not more than that third dilution he used, and basically he sometimes used the dilutions only very limited, which means that he never used beyond the limit dilutions. Okay, so everything is in it. Okay, so we have to understand there is no further dilutions, no higher dilutions more than 3. So basically he used according to the disease, according to the root of the disease. If there is a lymph, he used first dilution. If the symptoms are more hyper, or the bleeding is there, then he used second or third, or in some cases like fever, he uses the diluted medicine. So basically we have to be understand one point of this and second point of the Cross. Okay, so Cross actually came into the system and followed further to Mattei, and he actually based on this he put it two type of doses. Okay, so negative and positive. Okay, so negative and positive means that he used the time is changed. Okay, the Mattei is given a wonderful idea and demonstration and let down the system's foundation, and the Cross taken further and expanded into the different way. And he said that if the disease is actually negative, so we have to use the positive, or if the positive disease, we have to use the negative. Basically he's saying that we have to be first and strong dilutions and the light dilution. So basically Cross was saying the same thing what Matty actually given us, that the where we need stimulation, we need strong doses. Where we need the calming effect, we use the negative dosage. So basically there are again two type of dilutions, not more than that. So we have to be understand this one in a very different way. So again we have to be understand now the one more principle which given by the actually Dr. Satyapal. Okay, so we have to understand Dr. Satyapal. So basically, Matty given one first, second, and third dilutions, cross given this system into two. Okay, negative calming effect and positive, which is stimulant effect. Okay, so this is somewhere a 100-year gap. So Matty and this one was almost 25-year gap, 30-year gap. The cross made it this, and then there was 100-year gap between those. So Dr. Satyapal, my mentor, my godfather, and my spiritual guidance on the system by Dr. Satyapal. What he said actually, he uses more medical terms. So what he said, negative means hypo and positive means hyper. So every system should be updated. Latest research, scientific study, and every 10 years or so on, systems should be updated. Without latest research, the system will be paralyzed. Okay, so new generation cannot understand based on the old philosophy, but old philosophy and old idea we need it. We have to be followed. So basically, Cross actually followed the Matai and made two doses, and then the Cross actually put it this one in their own word, and the Dr. Satyapal made it in hyper or hypo, which means I have to be a little bit give you little bit information about that. So now we understood the Matai, we understood the Cross, we understood the Dr. Satyapal. So again, if you follow the Matai in after 163 years, your practice will need updated. So if you're using the 100-year-old Cross theory, you will understand we need it. We cannot put it aside, but the latest research we need it. So Dr. Satyapal, okay, Dr. Satyapal was great personality. He put it the same thing, the digestion, lymph, blood, the mind. Based on that, remedies, but doses should be as per this. So any symptoms, hypo, which is less, or hyper, in case of bleeding, more, should be the dose opposite. Okay, so cross given negative and positive doses and should be choose opposite. Okay, negative disease, positive, which means that the lighter or the strong. So more medically, Dr. Satyapal bring it into the hypo. So hypo need the strong doses, and the hyper need the light doses. So one thing, practitioners, you should follow that from Matai to Cross to Dr. Satyapal, we are all following the same principles led down by our father, Count Matai. So we are not actually leaving him or leaving his theory. So we are following this one. So now, very simple. So hyper symptoms need the lactic dose. And what is that? So there are two type of dose: strong So you can say first dilution is strong, and the you can say third or fourth dilution is. So basically, by the time it changed, the rule or regulations came. So we have to follow some kind of rule or regulation. Without any regulations, you are illegal. So basically, when the pharmacopoeia came in every science in your, we have to follow that one. So basically, D1, D2, and D3 is the essence. Okay, is essence. It's not used in the practice. Okay, and we have to be started from D4 to D12. Okay, so basically the D4 is strong and the D12 is lighter. So basically there is no unlimited dilution, which our Matty said we cannot, because he was actually not happy with the honeyman of the beyond the limit dilution. So we have to be respect that. We have to be credit to the Count Matty that the unlimited dilutions or potencies are used in the homeopathic. Matty was against. Okay, and then the cross actually made two type of dilutions, which is lighter and which is called D4, D12. So there is no essences are using here. So Matty actually given essences in the water and given the dilutions, not the essences. The cross never given the essences, it's given only the dilution, and the essence part of the pharmacology and the dilutions and product of the pharmacology or pharmacy is the ready-made medicine. So there is so basically how we compare the higher dilutions. When we give the higher dilutions in the water, is higher dilution when 1 drop of the dilution. So what we have done, by the time Dr. Satyapal, after that we actually researched scientifically and recalled all the theory into very simple way. So what, when the 25 year ago the WEHO UK formed international platform, we are working internationally, and I observed and again research and scientific study. So what we gain from that, that there are two type of dilutions only. So Matty gave first, second, third. Cross gave negative, positive, strong or light, cross, and Dr. Paul given hypo and hyper. So again, after the death of Paul, we have researched further and made it very simple: diluted and undiluted. Two type. So diluted means the D4, okay, is given in water, glass of water, or 500 ml bottle, depend on the symptoms, how more severe the symptoms are, more hyper, the more diluted should be. So undiluted means that the D4 direct on the tongue. So basically diluted and undiluted, there are two type of. So we, coming from the Matty time until today, so we have actually expanding the system day by day and giving the right guidance to the existing practitioners so they cannot misunderstand or they can get wonderful knowledge. So basically we are saying where the hyper symptoms are, we have to be diluted the medicines, or where are the hypo diseases are, we have to be undiluted decision. For example, if you are suffering from the low circulation or the lesser, you need stimulation, or low energy, you need stimulation. Okay, if you have a more energies, you have to be reduce that. Hyper activities, then you have to be give a hypo. Indirected. So based on that, there is a tool. So my dear friend, do not confuse and do not follow that there are unlimited dilutions like homeopathy. Okay, they are in a different foundation, they are in a different way, so they are going into the energetic way. So we are on a scientific way, molecules still available in our system of medicine. So basically what we have done, we made actually the unlimited undiluted dilution in D4 and diluted in D12. So basically, if you look at our last dilution, we still got the substances or molecule of the plant of into the system. So we are not following like Honeyman. So the homeopathic system is a different. So our Mati system is totally different and opposite to the homeopathy. So they use the higher potencies. We do use the dilution. So basically, what we got here is now towards the end of our program. Is this episode is this. So now in the end, what we got? We got that if you are a true Mati follower and the true system practitioner, so you have to be follow this. Okay, you have to be follow one root cause of the disease. Okay, it could be lymph, blood, mind. Okay, so selection of the remedies based on this, and then dose of the remedies based on the symptoms. Hypo, hyper, hyponeed, undiluted, and hyperneed, diluted. So basically you are using same remedy into the undiluted means 5 to 10 drops 3 times a day directly on tongue, and the hyper means diluted means 1 to 3 drops in glass of water. Drink slowly, sip by sip. So basically two. So we will teach you here. So do not follow these high potencies, beyond the limit dilutions. So if you are using this, you are not the Mati follower, you are homeopathy follower. So these two signs are different and we have to be understand this. So based on that one, these all medicine based on that. So I hope you like this, and we will bring more day by day our wonderful knowledge to all of you. So thank you very much for watching us. See you soon again. Thank you.